All right, guys, continue taking lots of notes. I'm going to go through this really fast. That way we can wrap up. But the fundamentals, guys, of getting wide, you have to understand what you got to be focusing on daily, what you need to be talking to your teammates about on a regular basis to make sure you're doing the right things. So first, it's going to start with you, right? You want to make sure you have a non-negotiable daily prospecting mentality. So Shaq says, block off 3 hours. Block off your 3 hours. If you wanna have a big base shop, if you want to become a vice president, you have to minimum do 3 hours of daily prospecting. If you can't do it all at the same time, split it up throughout your day, but you got to make sure that you're getting new names and numbers daily, every single day. So make sure you're focusing on that. There's many avenues, and we've done many trainings on it, right? So make sure you're doing that. Get 3 to 5 directs a month. Focus on getting your 3 to 5 directs a month. Why do you recruit people? This is very important, and you got to be asking your teammates this, right? I know we're talking to the leaders, the people that are field trainers, that are working with others, right? Why? Ask your recruits, why do we recruit people? So a lot of times they don't know. They say, oh, to win a trip, to make money, to get a sale, to, I don't know, right? But the only reason, there's 2 reasons that you recruit people. Number 1, to find more places to go. And number 2, find more leaders. More places to go and new leaders. So every single month you get your 3 to 5 directs, and that's going to solve a lot of problems that you may have, right? You never want to go a month where you're not getting your 3 to 5 directs. Know your ratios, right? So I was listening to Hector this week, and we were listening to also Bill Arender, and he has an audio that's great talking about your ratios. Know your ratios. So what does that mean? If I invite X amount of people, how many people will show up? And from those people that show up, how many people will move forward in business, whether it's as a recruit or as a client? You got to know your ratios, and you got to talk about them. You got to teach your teammates those ratios, and your ratios may get better as you continue to master your fundamentals, right? So know your ratios. Like, for example, I know that these are absolute worst case scenario, if I invite 10 people, 4 will show up. That's about 40%. And then of those 4, 1 person will move forward as a recruit. So it's about 25% of people that show up. So why is that important? Because if you are trying to grow your business and you say, okay, hey, I met with 3 people this week, but I didn't get any recruits. Well, I mean, 25% of 3 is 0. So that's probably why, right? So you got to know your ratios as far as that goes. Then you want to master the 7 fundamentals. So this is huge, guys, right? Hector talks, he's the one who actually created the 7 fundamentals of the business, Hector Lamar. And we're not going to go through every single one of those. Every single video is on YouTube, right? The 7 fundamentals. Number 1 is prospecting, right? I already kind of touched on that, but prospecting is the most important fundamental because it leads to everything else in your business. So if you log onto our YouTube channel and the training is called Prospecting, watch it. Like, that's probably the one that you need to watch the most out of every single video that you see on there, right? How to prospect. So that's number 1. Number 2, then you got to set appointments, right? If the training on YouTube says setting appointments, make sure you're watching that one. If the training says master your presentation, or here's the presentation walkthrough, that's another fundamental. Make sure you watch those videos, right? So we got prospecting, we got setting appointments, we have the presentation, then we got, what's next? Overcoming objections, or no, products. So products, right? So we have tons of videos online about whole life, universal life, group insurance, FEGLI, government benefits. Watch those, master your products. Then you want to overcome objections. Right now, they're doing a training. Shay, Gabe, and Jen are doing a training on overcoming objections. Make sure you watch that. What do we got next? Recruiting the client, recruiting across the kitchen table. I know there's trainings on YouTube about that, because I know that in a lot of organizations, I know Marquita and Darian right now on Josh's team, they're clients, and now they're in the business and they're killing it, right? So how to recruit the client across the kitchen table, and then getting your recruits off to a fast start. That's number 7, right? So what do you do in the fast start? How do you get people to want to give you a list and continue moving forward? So all of those things are on YouTube, guys. Utilize your resources. but everything is going to start with you, right? And sometimes people tend to think a little small, right? We said 3 to 5 directs a month, but what is that going to lead to, right? Josh was talking about having a big base shop. Hector, I listened to the audio and he just said it off. He was like, yeah, I'm like 35 to 50 wide. What does that mean? I have 35 to 50 people that put their name on a sale direct to me, not just deep and through the team, direct. That first line of recruits direct to him. And I was like, what? That's crazy. I literally sent Josh a message. I was like, he didn't get all 35 to 50 of those people. People quit and those people rolled up to him, right? So that can happen. That's the thing to think about. Some people may say, oh, I got to get 35 to 50 people myself. No, you train and develop people, people quit. If you build a solid leg and they have 4 to 5 people on their team, that person quits, all 4 to 5 of those people roll up to you direct, right? So that's why you get wide, but you also go deep. But Josh also responded back and was like, hey, well, who knows? Why can't you go 35 to 50 wide yourself, right? So open up your mind, think big, but everything starts with you. Next thing is double-digit recruiting. So when you're getting your 3 to 5 directs, you're looking to find other people. You want to find other double-digit recruiters, and then you also want to find other 10K producers. So finding other double-digit recruiters. I was listening to Brett Burks yesterday, actually, a couple times. And so he was talking about what type of recruiter are you? And I was really listening to it, and I was like, wow. You listen to audios a lot, and then you re-listen to them again, and you're like, I didn't really pay attention to that the first time, right? And then you start analyzing your business. So what was I thinking? When we recruit people, what are you saying? What are you telling them? Are you focusing on telling them, hey, hey, we're going to recruit you, we're going to get you licensed, we're going to get you trained, we're going to teach you about universal life and whole life and getting your securities license and all of that, and recruiting other salespeople, right? Or are you recruiting people to say, hey, we're going to recruit you, you're going to build a team, then they're going to build a team, and then they're going to build a team? And are you teaching them that, hey, we're building an organization of double-digit recruiters where you can be a business owner, not a salesperson, right? That's huge, guys, because if it's all about the sales, what's going to happen? And I was analyzing my team, right? You train people and then they just become focused on money and producing and not really building and going deep and having other double-digit recruiters under them. So it's the right message. What are you planting in their minds when you start, right? When you're talking to them. So that's double-digit recruiters. Then you got to make sure that you're teaching other people, or you're finding other people to become 10K producers, minimum 5K producers. Because just like Josh showed you guys in the pictures, in the drawings, right? You want people to become productive, right? If you have a bunch of people that just write one sale a month, you're going to have to do a lot of things on your own, right? Outside of them. So you got to make sure that you're looking for people that want to develop. And if they double-digit recruit, they're going to probably do 10K, 5K, right? Training those people. So it all ties together, guys. Now, I was talking to my, I did a fast start yesterday, and I was talking to my recruit, and I was like, hey, yeah, you got a double digit in 1 month. Brand new recruit, you got a double digit in 1 month. It's not hard, guys. It's very simple. It's just 3 people who get 3 people, right? Shaq talked about telling your recruit, hey, you got to focus on making $1,000, right? Which is logging onto their app, getting their pre-licensing in 30 days, 3 by 3,000, doing the Vivint sale. They also get an iPad, $1,000, right? So I said, hey, Rich, if you're going to do your 3 by 3,000, you got to get 3 recruits. Don't you think that their 3 recruits, if you got John, Mary, and Peter, don't you think they're going to want to get their $1,000? If they want to do that, they're going to need to get their 3 recruits too. So you get your 3, then you teach them to get their 3. How many recruits do you have now? 3. That's what he told me. I was like, no, those people are on your team. So how many do you have total? He's like, 12. Exactly. In 1 month, now you've double-digit recruited. It's simple, guys. 3 who get 3. That's what you got to be talking about. So that's huge. Then the 20% rule, you double-digit to find the producers, because 20% of any organization is going to be responsible for a majority of your production. So if you recruit 10 people in a month, 2 of them could do something, get licensed, Maybe one out of those two become a district leader. So that's major. Access to mentorship with Bruce. So I know there's a couple people on the call that have gotten on that call. Maybe didn't stay on the call, but they got on the call, right? Number one, get back on the call. I know Val, she got back on the call, so we're excited to see her back on there. But with that, you get the mentorship from Bruce. He coaches us literally twice a month on what to do, the right conversations to have with recruits, building their mentality up. What are you doing in your brain, right, on a regular basis? It's literally brain surgery. And this is another thing to sell to your recruits, guys, right? A lot of people want to get into business on their own. And people pay thousands of dollars to get mentorship. They sign up for a class, a workshop. I'm like, hey, you join, like literally, again, examples from this week. Talked to this guy, he said, hey, I want to get into real estate investing. I was like, okay, cool. How long you been thinking about that? 6 months. Awesome. Do you have access to anybody that makes $500,000 a year, 120,000 a month that can teach you about business? No. Cool, man. Well, hey, if you do the right things with me, you can get access to that. You don't even have to pay for it, right? Those are things that you can utilize. People are looking for mentorship. And then if you have 3 to 5 double-digit recruiters in your organization, that's huge. That's how you're going to get to 50 to 100, well, 50 minimum, 50 recruits a month. But then eventually a big base shop nowadays is 100 recruits a month. So you got to find those people. So that's double-digit recruiting. Then snap, crackle, pop. We talked about this a couple times, and I don't think people ever brought it back up for a while, right? You got to keep the right things. So snap, crackle, pop, what was that? Hey, if you 10K produce, then you get 2 other people to 10K produce. Now you can be on track to becoming a vice president, right? So first you do it, you teach someone else how to do it. You have 2 people direct to you doing it. Hey, you're doing minimum of 30K base shop, right? And now you're on track to going vice president. So you want to be focusing on that, guys. So snap, crackle, pop. So Josh is saying, hey, let's talk about examples of when we did this. So I think it was last year, actually last year, August, I looked at my numbers, but last year, August was the first time I did 10,000 personal, right? And sometimes people are like, oh my gosh, it's so much. I don't know, am I ever gonna make it? Like I can barely get 1,000, 2,500, qualify as a district leader. How am I gonna write 10,000 personal? Number one, Josh is gonna show you guys there's tons of people doing it and it's not that difficult, right? So you do 10 to 20,000 personal to make money, right? You gotta make money, show an example, lead from the front. So that month I recruited 2 directs and I did 10,000 personal, and we brought in obviously 10,000 of production, but I made 6,200 in cash. So that's huge, right? And then I was only training 10 people though. But out of those 10 people, only 3 of them were direct to me. So again, back to what I was saying at the beginning, you get your 3 to 5 directs in a month and you recruit under them. If you're training 10 people in a month and each of them just get an average client 1,000, that's your 10,000 personal, right? It's not too crazy. You just do what you talk about, you follow it, you'll hit it, and you'll make a bunch of money. But then not just only that, you're gonna set an example for your team of standards, right? We gotta raise, our hierarchy is called the standard. We gotta raise the standard. Everybody should be doing 10,000, right, when they're training. Because now that's the master copy within your team. You do it, so other people watch you do it, and then hopefully they catch on, the right people with the right mindset, they catch on and they start doing it. Because eventually what you want to have is 3 to 5 10K producers on your team. 3 to 5 10K producers on your team. But that's only going to happen if you do it first and they watch you do that. Because just like Josh said, if they're in an organization and they see those things happening, they're going to be like, oh, I can do that. I just got to do whatever Shondell did. I just have to do whatever Joey did. I have to do whatever Donald or Bao did, right? And just copy. So that's huge. And then it also opens up their minds as far as what's possible. Because a lot of people are working a job, and hopefully in your guys' fast start meetings and your orientations, you're asking people how much they make, right? Don't be shy about asking people how much they make. I ask all the time, hey, how much do you make right now? Oh, $1,000. Another example, yesterday, saw this guy, he works at Family Dollar. He's like, I was like, how much would you want to make here part-time? He was like, I don't know. It might not be realistic how much I would want to make. This is a big goal, right? You want to know what he told me? $2,000 to $3,000 a month part-time. That's what he said was unrealistic and a big goal, right? That's why you ask me. People don't know what big and huge and unrealistic to people are different. What is their perspective? But you teach somebody how to set a good amount of appointments, 8 appointments a week, go on 5, they can make 1,000 at a 25% contract, right? If they get promoted to district, now they're making 2,000 a month. Great, we just hit your goal. It's not that difficult. So you got to ask people and let them know. But bigger scale, if you can, right now we have people in the office writing transactions where they can make $1,000 in an hour just on a life sale. If you add securities, that's even a whole nother level. But you have to open up people's minds, because a lot of people don't think or believe that they can make money. They just got to be in the right industry with the right mentorship and the right training, and we can help them do that. So that's what I have, guys. If you guys have any other questions about stuff, you can post them in the chat, but just to make sure that we don't go too far over, Josh is going to pull up the leaderships. This is huge. Bruce talks about this all the time. I personally need to get better at looking at the leader sheets, but you got to look at this stuff, because it's going to show you that a lot of things are possible. Number 1, see where you're at. Number 2, see what's going on in your state. And then number 3, see what's going on in the nation. But he's going to show examples of what we were kind of talking about, writing 10K, having people on your team also writing 10K, and then eventually how that shows creating a big base shop in your organization.